What do you get when a laundromat owner becomes the ultimate warrior destined to save the world from hot dog fingers? The absurdist comedy drama centers around the multiverse, which happens to unravel during a very stressful time for our hero Evelyn Wang, the unlikely protagonist who must channel her newfound powers to fight the dangers from the multiverse as the world hangs in the balance. Welcome to Rapid Movie Recaps. Please subscribe, like, and turn notifications on. Evelyn Wang is stressed out and unhappy with life as she knows it. She's a Chinese-American immigrant who runs a laundromat with her husband. The mother of one disobeyed her father, Gong Gong, and migrated over to America for a better life. However, Evelyn's years in America has not turned out the way she wanted. Now her husband, Wayman, isn't exactly a happy man himself, as he's ready to divorce his wife as the film starts. Perhaps if he had grown hot dog fingers, then their marriage crisis would have been solved quickly. There's also Evelyn's daughter, Joy, who's dealing with issues of her own due to the fact that her mother hasn't fully accepted her kind and patient white girlfriend, Becky. However, Evelyn's biggest concern is about her audit by the IRS. Unfortunately, all the karaoke in the world won't get her out of this giant mess. The world is normal in the eyes of Evelyn, though Wayman's body is first overtaken inside of the laundromat. Once Alpha Wayman and Evelyn are inside of the elevator at the IRS building, he informs her that the world is in grave danger. As you can imagine, Evelyn is confused over what's going on, but she follows the instructions that Alpha Wayman gave her inside of the elevator and manages to verse jump back into the janitor's closet. Alpha Wayman goes into depth about what exactly is going on. Jobo Tupaki is pissed off. The Alphaverse version of Joy has created a black hole that appears as a pulsating toroid singularity that could destroy the entire multiverse. You try saying that 5 times fast. Alpha Wayman feels that Evelyn, who is considered the greatest failure of all Evelyns in the multiverse, has untapped potential to defeat Jobu. Naturally, this only confuses Evelyn even more, but Alpha Wayman is attacked before he could go into further detail about what she should do. Evelyn jumps out of the multiverse, but her paranoia is at an all-time high, so she does what any sane human being would do: punch Mrs. Deirdre, the IRS agent. The mistake causes further turmoil, and security runs up to handle the situation. Luckily, Alpha Wayman jumps back in and kicks some major butt, thanks to rocks and his trusty fanny pack. But not so fast, as Alpha Deirdre wants to join in on the fight. She verse jumps and gains the power of a sumo wrestler and gives Alpha Wayman a good thrashing. Alpha Wayman is taken out of the game and Alpha Deirdre is on the hunt for Evelyn. Evelyn needs to verse jump in order to stand a chance against Alpha Deirdre, who finds Evelyn and beats her up, down, and all around the IRS building as Evelyn tries to figure out the whole verse jumping thing. All seems lost when Alpha Wayman loses hope that Evelyn can save the universe and leaves her high and dry. However, she finally gets the hang of her verse jumping and becomes an accomplished martial arts fighter. You know what that means. Evelyn kicks some major butt for all the dreamers who wanted to beat up their IRS agent. But Evelyn isn't prepared for what's next. That's because Joy, aka Jobu, makes her appearance with a lovely little pig and shows Evelyn and the cops who's boss. Jobu wreaks havoc by displaying tremendous salsa and wrestling skills. And Jobu highlights her softer side by going to town on one officer with her bacon bazooka. Evelyn has seen the destruction and mayhem Jobu can cause firsthand. Alpha Gong Gong and Alpha Wayman want Evelyn to kill Jobu. However, that becomes harder when Joy intervenes, who is also confused about the entire situation. Jobu verse jumps to murder Alpha Gong Gong and Alpha Wayman, so they verse jump back to their dimension to stop her. Evelyn now has to make a decision. Should I kill my daughter, burn her body, and blame the neighbors for my heinous but understandable murder? Or is there another way to stop Jobu and her evil? Sadly, Evelyn chooses the latter and decides to gain powers through repeated verse jumping. This does not make Alpha Gong Gong happy, who now thinks that Evelyn's mind has been compromised like Jobu's, so he sends soldiers after Evelyn. We get an incredible and long action sequence that results in a Pomeranian being tossed into a refrigerator, 2 grown men stuffing trophies up their butts, and Evelyn sniffing a fly like it's cocaine. Evelyn wins the battle, for now, but Jobu responds by striking a devastating blow. She kills Alpha Wayman in the Alphaverse, and now Evelyn is alone in her fight against this dastardly villain. The two confront each other and Evelyn is ready to fight. Unfortunately, her body isn't, and she vomits up a storm. Evelyn verse jumps uncontrollably. Hot dog hands, crazed raccoons, piñatas. The multiverse has officially gone bananas, and Jobu explains why. She doesn't want to kill Evelyn. She's actually been searching for the Evelyn that can see as she does. She only kills the Evelyns who don't. Jobu brings Evelyn to the Everything Bagel, where they both can truly die. Evelyn's world turns upside down and everything bad that could happen does. She's lost all meaning in her life and hurts those around her in the process. However, Evelyn comes to the realization that fighting isn't the answer. That's because her husband's plea to be kind has struck an epiphany within her. One by one, Evelyn takes down the soldiers through a mix of fighting skill and kindness. Evelyn is finally putting the pieces of her life back together, but Joy isn't falling for the act. She's tired and feels miserable every time she's around her mother. Joy wants them to go their separate ways, but Evelyn doesn't let that happen. Evelyn has a sweet heart-to-heart with her daughter that ultimately brings them closer together. And with that, the multiverse is saved. We return to see Evelyn and her family gathering her essentials for the IRS. Evelyn has come full circle here, finally accepting Becky as Joy's girlfriend and showing appreciation to her husband. The film ends with Evelyn and the family meeting with Deirdre, and things are looking pretty good. Mrs. Wang is dozing off again, and Deirdre asks if she heard her, to which she replies, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" And then the credits roll. This movie can be purchased at the link in the description below. Thank you for watching.